Hello, everybody. We have an incredible show coming up for you right now with the great Ali Siddiq, one of the best comics working today, maybe the best storyteller in stand-up comedy currently. You're going to love the episode. He was great on the show. Just wanted to let you know we are going to be on the road a bunch, coming to the UK and Ireland in September. We're talking Manchester. We're talking London, Glasgow. Then also Dublin, of course. How could I forget? Let's not forget coming back stateside, Memphis, Huntsville, Chattanooga, Knoxville, Asheville, Greensboro, North Carolina, Wilmington, Myrtle Beach, Austin, and Boston. And we are adding more shows. Believe me, don't worry. More shows are coming. Go right now to stavvy.biz to get your tickets. Can't wait to see you there. So fun. And now, let's start the show.
Opa! Welcome everybody to Stavvy's World, 904-800-STAV. Call in, we'll solve all your problems. On the couch today, we're pumped to have Ali Siddiq. Thank you for being here, man. One of the most prolific. I truly don't I see your YouTube channel, I'm like, fuck, man. I gotta work so much harder than this. I'll do one special every 2 years. I'm like, this guy's doing shit that I'm like, people are crying, they're laughing, you're moving people. I'm like, damn, do I even do the same art form? I just talk about my dick being small for about half of it and being too fat the other half. So your shit is out of, I mean, truly, dude, it's like nobody's doing what you're doing on the, like on YouTube and like with your specials. And so we're so happy to have you here. We're huge fans here for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you got a special right now that just came out like a couple weeks ago, probably.
Yeah, my two sons.
Yep.
4 million already. So
yeah, dude,
it's moving.
I mean, everybody I talk to, I'm like, YouTube's dead. Don't even bother putting a special up. And then I check your shit, and you got 8 million on like on some film with like it looks like security camera footage. Like this, he just did a special in the lobby of a fucking. You're doing theaters. You're like, let's just do another one for fun. Let's do one at a club. It's incredible what you're doing, man, for real. So
that's actually what happened. We had did all these other specials, and then we had some footage, and we was looking at it. It was like, this is pretty structured.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Let's put it out in between. You know, while they waiting on another special.
Yeah. Don't get used to that. You are not if you're a Stavros Algis fan, do not expect that kind of production. We are taking our time with this special, man. Yeah, no, dude. So and I mean, you know, you have so many of them, but the Domino Effect, so great. A 4-part special that's like 6 hours almost, like the whole thing. It's so, and your life story is incredible. I mean, you know, I don't want to go check Ali's stuff out, but you know, we'll just talk about you from Houston.
Yes, sir.
And the whole thing. I mean, I love the Domino Effect because it takes you essentially from like childhood into when you come out of prison, which is like, you know, such a beautiful arc to the whole thing. So, but yeah, Houston. I mean, we're big fans of Houston too. We love it. It's a great city, man.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't think I would live anywhere else. You know, I still stay there.
Yeah.
And I'm so anti moving anywhere else.
Yeah, why do it? If the place you're from is cool, like, you know, I'm from Baltimore. I love Baltimore, but it's like, first of all, my family's there, which I love, but I like being 4 hours is nice. 4 hours in a car is the perfect distance from your family. An emergency happens, I'm in the RAV4, I'm there. But my mom can't just pop over, you know what I mean? My dad can't annoy me, you know what I mean? It's like, they are far enough away where I literally went down yesterday for the day and I did like, I checked off a visit to everybody, my dad, my mom, my brothers.
I'm looking at the back.
Yeah.
You Greek?
I'm Greek, but yeah.
So I'll be going to Greece.
Oh, hell yeah.
July.
Oh, nice,
I'll be
dude.
going to Greece.
Where you going? You got the trip figured out?
Like 3 islands, I think y'all go.
Yeah, we got a lot more, but yeah, the 3's good. Yeah.
I think it's like 3 spots.
The big ones, yeah. No, Greece is the best.
I'm going because this is a place where I could wear a Speedo and look excellent.
Everyone's gonna be like, nice, dude. That guy's crushed it. They might call you Obama. That's the thing. Greek racism is like nice. It's like their favorite. If they see a black person, they'll just say their favorite black person. They might come up to you and be like, LeBron. You know, that's like they'll say some shit like that to you. I was there with an ex-girlfriend and we were having, you know, we're breaking up on the trip. It's horrible. And then I just this like stately older couple, right? Like this black dude, you know, black couple, and they're like, you know, in their 50s, and they really look like, he looks like a senator or something, right? And the guy just won't stop. The Greek waiter does not know any English, won't stop calling him Obama. And I'm just like, they're ruining this vacation. But I'm like, all right, it's making me laugh while I'm breaking up with my girlfriend in a beautiful island. So they might hit you that.
Can you break up in Greece?
I didn't think you could, Ali. Apparently,
I'm sitting there thinking, like, God, everything I've heard about Greece, like, can you break up in Greece?
that's what happens when you date a rich girl. Like, I grew up poor. I was like, we're going to Greece. She can't say anything. I mean, I'm the man for bringing her to Greece. But when someone's family is, her parents have taken her to, like, every place you can imagine. So to me, this is a big deal. To her, it's like, she's annoyed she can't, she's missing out on New York. We two different worlds. I fucked up.
Now you making me think, is this what my daughters are gonna be like?
Yeah, unfortunately, that is the problem with success. Your kids end up being like, ugh, you know what I mean? They like, I don't want my children to know what ramen is, like real ramen is, until they're 25. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be packets.
Oh no, I think I'm a healthy mix in between well-to-do and not well-to-do.
Sure.
I was on another podcast and guy was like, "Yo, Ali, what are you bougie or are you regular?" I said, "Okay, I heard exactly what you said."
Yeah.
but I was listening, but I wasn't listening because I'm actually sitting inside my Bentley, and all I can think about is shooting these squirrels that's eating my apples.
Yeah.
Off my
Absolutely.
tree, like, and I'm sitting there like the pellet gun that I just bought is in the trunk. Like,
Yeah.
Like I just can't wait to get on this podcast so I
course.
can shoot these squirrels. Like I am going squirrel hunting. I'm finna have a trash bag full of bodies.
You still have it in you.
I still have it, man. It's like,
you do, but unfortunately, I think you are. How many kids do you have? Because I know
a plethora.
Yeah. Nice.
That's how I describe it.
Maybe that's smart.
This is the plethora. And they, I have a healthy range. They start at 31, and then they go down to 4.
Wow, dude. Yeah, that's smart because then you're like, all right, I'm spreading the resources out, so none of you gets to be that rich.
Yep.
That, you know what I mean? Maybe that's how you'll stop it from them being too bougie.
So what's crazy? I only own this Bentley is because I was with my 4-year-old getting my truck serviced, and she was like, "That's a nice car," and I said, "Well, let's look in it." Dealership is right next to the other dealership. I said, let's just go look in it.
Yeah.
And she got in the back and she literally crossed her legs and crossed her hands like, "This is nice."
Okay, well, yeah, she is toast. She's gonna be like my ex.
It's gonna be the worst.
Yeah. Sorry, she's done for sure. Maybe, the 31-year-old probably they'll be cool.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
He is definitely not upper crust.
Yeah.
He is definitely rough around the edges.
Before the YouTube ad money came in.
He was before the career even.
Oh, wow.
I've been doing stand-up 27 years.
Okay.
So my oldest daughter is 26. My oldest son is 31. Okay. So he is the brunt of
course.
Hey man, where do you actually work at? I'm like, several places.
Yeah, what's the little gap between when the career, because in the specials you're talking about how you sort of kind of started doing stand-up entertaining other inmates when you were in prison, and it was like, so what's that little gap when the career, when you got out and before it like really started going off? What are you doing?
I am, this is In the Shadows gives an explanation of how I started in 1997, December the 2nd, and how I go up from there. I was actually 18 months before I was on my first TV show.
Wow, holy shit.
Which was ComicView, which
cool.
is 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you think that you are exploding after that.
Yeah.
And then you realize, no, I only really like the host.
Yeah. Exactly, absolutely. It was always like a famous guy would be hosting. You know what I mean? He was doing. That was kind of like the farm system, where it was like you would, if you do well enough, they might bring you back another time.
Yeah.
And then if you have some other shit going on, then you get to also host the thing too. Yeah.
If it used to be a competition to host, Then they just started making this, random staples. Bruce was the host one year.
Yep.
Ricky Smiley was the host. I think Ricky did it twice. So the 3 years I was on, it was Bruce, it was Ricky, and then they had, I think it was a weird year in there where it was like 2 hosts.
Yeah.
Because they taped in multiple places.
Right. That's when shit started falling apart. When it was just like no one even gave a fuck anymore. They're like, whatever, man, you hosted. You know what I mean?
I remember people would do ComicView and then they would come in the club with shades on the next week. I was like, you might. I said, them shades cost more than you made. I know they did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, those first. I mean, I remember my first thing for Comedy Central. That was like 4 minutes. It was like they were like, oh, last year this paid $8,000 and we did it in Hawaii. This year it's in Brooklyn. It's $400 and you get an Uber ride. I'm like, the fuck. I'm the first generation. They're downsizing this bullshit. It went from Adam Devine's house party. It was like the little, and they would fly you to Hawaii, and the next year they just fucking did it at one of these somewhere in like Park Slope. It was horrible.
I declined Adam Devine's house party.
Yeah.
It didn't. Because I had won.
Yeah, you're in a different place by then. You know what I mean?
I had just won Comedy Central's Comic to Watch, right?
Yeah.
And it came with, an album, of appearance on one of the Comedy Central shows, and they kept offering me shows, and I kept declining them. And they was like, yo, what's going on with this guy? Like, and then they was like, well, Adam Devine's is a great one. You can go on it. He's blowing up. I said, cool. So I watched an episode.
Yeah, not really your sensibility.
And then I called back, and I'm like, no. And one of the guys that did it, Matt Broussard.
Oh yeah, I know Matt.
He called me, Houston guy. He called me and he was like, yo, you gotta do it. I was like, no, Matt, you were on there. Exactly.
I can't think of a more cartoonishly opposite, also Matt is like the most handsome villain. Exactly.
He's a handsome villain. He's a handsome villain.
He knows Matt. He can do like equations in his head. He's the kind of guy who's like, when they think about the guy who traps you in a bad contract, it looks like Matt Broussard.
It's like Matt Broussard and then Rocky Del Davis. Totally different situations.
Yeah. He's on the other side. He's on the other camp that's trying to get yours shut down in the movie. You know what I mean? It's like, we have to stop them from taking over the campground. And he's got a little fucking sweater wrapped around his neck. That's who Matt Broussard is. No, I mean our pal Brandon Wardell did that show, and he's exactly you. And that's not the show you need to be on. But at the time, I was here. I was in this apartment, living in the living room with a fake wall, eating cereal with fucking water in it. So I would have killed to be on Adam Devine's house party. That's what I was looking for, dude. I remember eating cinnamon toast. I was like, oh, cinnamon toast crunch is sweet enough that the water, you kind of forget it's water, and it kind of feels like a dessert. And then I posted that, and I got like 8 calls from people in Baltimore. They're like, hey man, is shit going that bad in New York where you're eating? Where you're eating?
I would have called you. I would have called you.
It was
supposed. I was like, hey, no, it's not sweet enough.
It's pretty good. Yeah. I will say, to this day, it's kind of like horchata.
Did you put it in the freezer for a little bit?
True. If you put it in the fridge, it actually helps.
You put it in the fridge for a little bit, it helps. Not saying that I know, but I'm just saying I know.
If you are running a business, every missed call is a chance at money. You just threw some money down the drain. Let's say you need a plumber. Let's say you got an Albanian producer who does to a toilet what livestock does to a toilet, and it's jammed up big time. If you call the first plumber and they don't answer you, are you going to just wait around? No, you're moving on to the next one. Don't let that happen to you with your business. Use our friends over at Open Phone. Open Phone is the #1 business phone system that streamlines and scales your customer communications. It works through an app on your phone or computer, so no more carrying 2 phones or using a landline. Use your 2 phones. That's in the past. 2 phones, that's a sign of criminal activity. Use Open Phone. Plus, say goodbye to voicemail. Their AI agent can be set up in minutes to handle calls after hours, answer questions, and capture leads so you never miss a freaking customer. So whether you're a one-person operation drowning in calls and texts or have a large team that needs better collaboration tools, Open Phone is a no-brainer, baby. See why over 60,000 businesses trust Open Phone. Open Phone is offering our listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/Stavvy. That's OPENPHONE.com/Stavvy. Open Phone, the way you would spell it. It's the two words open and it's this word open and the word phone in quick succession. .com/Stavvy. And if you have existing numbers with another service, Open Phone will port them over at no extra charge. Open Phone, no missed calls, no missed customers.
Oh yeah, those were beautiful. We were roommates too at the time. People would just come in and out of work. I'm just still in the living room. What's up, guys? Just eating cereal, getting high as fuck, not working or anything. Just being like, it'll happen. And then hilariously, it did happen. But that's not. The odds were not in favor of that ever happening.
What's weird? It's not in favor. In this career, none of it's in favor of us.
It's a lottery ticket. It's hilarious. Even if you're funny as shit, the odds are so against you that I legit feel like I won the lottery. It's so stupid.
It's like making it to the NFL and actually being a person that they know.
Yes, exactly.
Because people don't realize it's 53 people on that team.
Dude, it's insane.
Even if it's your team, you only know 5 people.
Yeah.
Out of the 53.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then you look at the numbers, it's like the average career is 4 years, and those motherfuckers are making maybe like 400. Like the league minimum now might be 800K or some shit like that, but it's like half that's gone, depending on where you're playing, that's gone on taxes. Like, yeah. We had a coach that played in the NFL. I think it was the year he was a scab. It was the year they were doing the. It was the year they had the lockout, and they're like, "Fuck it, whoever's on the street, we're putting him." He was pretty good though. But yeah, that was like he was a music teacher and running backs coach at a Baltimore City public high school. So that's kind of what most of the career leads to.
So this is why I don't feel like people. I don't ever feel bad about not making it to a certain league because I have been privy to have people who playing basketball in middle school. My middle school coach played for the Atlanta Hawks.
Wow.
But he was our middle school gym coach.
Right.
Like you're a gym coach.
Yeah, and that's 12, by the way. The NBA is like, it's not the NFL. You know what I mean?
So now in the NFL, right? So
the NFL's crazy.
I decided I'm gonna get fit, and I go to 24-hour fitness in Houston.
This is recently. What are we talking about?
No, this is years ago.
Okay.
I was we're gonna say 2004.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm in there working out, and I noticed that my trainer has on a Super Bowl ring.
Oh, the ring on? He's holding making sure your squat form is good, and the ring is hitting your back.
Who did you play for? He was like, the Cowboys.
Brutal. In Texas, a ring from the Cowboys.
And I rooted against you.
Yeah.
Now you're my trainer. What happened?
Brutal stuff. Weren't you? You said you were in when you were in Houston, when you were in prison. There was a player from the. Yeah. Where was he from? He played
Dexter
on
Manley.
Yeah, Dexter Manley. Not only that guy was a legend. Yeah.
A legend.
Yeah.
Like it's not my favorite story, but it's up there.
It's a good story, man.
That we in the day room. I remember when he got there, right? They was people come and told me, he's like, yo, there is a monster.
Yeah. He played D-end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's usually like a huge guy.
And I'm like, okay, who is
I'll
this?
just pull up do some fucking producing for Christ's sake.
So I walk out of, because we're on the trustee side. So I walk out going over by the calf, and I'm looking. I was like, is that Dexter Dexter Manley?
Yeah.
We from the same neighborhood.
Yeah, okay,
You know what I'm saying? And I go over, I said, Dexter. He like, what's up? Man, just happy as could be.
Yeah.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, man. I was telling people, do y'all know who this is? This is Dexter Manley.
Yeah.
So then they moved Dexter Manley from 4 building to the trustee building, right? And so we're watching television. This is when ABC used to do them things where they talk about sports.
Yeah.
And Dexter Manley, they are showing Dexter Manley. And he was like, and when it went off, when it went to commercial and it said, Dexter Manley, one of the greatest deep DNs in the whole league.
Yeah.
And this is me. Dexter sitting on the bench behind me.
That's brutal, by the way. Imagine watching your highlights and you're wearing
And I turned so slow. And I said, now look at you. They thinking Dexter's about to kill me.
Yeah, I mean, he's
But Dexter
huge.
was a gentle soul, man. He got up and went to his bunk. And it was so crazy that I had to go upstairs like, yo, man, you need to go talk to Dexter. I'm like, I'm not going to talk to Dexter. And I went up and I sat on the edge of his bunk. I said, his he was facing me. And I was like, Dex, I was just messing with you, man. Yeah. And Dexter, I can always do like, Dexter was looking at me like this and he turned his back like this. No, you wasn't. I said, yo, man, you gotta come to the cafeteria. We gotta walk in because you making me.
Yeah.
People mad at me.
You hurt Dexter Manley's feelings. It seems like a pretty cool prison. All things considered, the fact they're like, hey, check in with Dexter.
Yeah.
Let's work through this as a community.
Hey, yo, you messed up with Dexter, bro. Dexter wasn't doing nothing to you, man. Ali, you're an asshole. I'm like, what?
Honestly, pretty good. You don't hear those stories about prison, where it's like you have to talk it out with a former with a football legend.
Man, he definitely going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Man, Dexter was, and then I saw him.
What did he do? What was he in? Like, what did he do?
He was drugs. It was it was something drug related.
Yeah.
Dexter's in a better space now for sure. And I always be asking people, because you don't keep up a lot.
Of course.
You like, is he still alive?
Yeah,
I always ask myself, is
Yeah.
he still alive?
I mean, NFL players, the odds aren't good. You know what I mean? When you're that, I mean, the whole thing is you fuck your body up.
Hollywood Henderson was locked up, and he won the lottery twice.
Wow.
You know how crazy it is? Do you win the lottery twice?
You won an actual lottery.
Like, you won the lottery 2 times.
Henderson.
Yeah. It's like, people look him up. Hollywood Henderson won the lottery 2 times.
Great name.
Like, how do you look?
28 million. Holy fuck. He had previously spent $20,000 on lotteries. Oh, so he was kind of trying to game the system. That he often plays with the jackpot exceeds 20 million. He purchased the winning ticket at a pharmacy in Austin. That's wild. to go from like a Super Bowl winner to prison to 2 lotteries. That's some high highs and some low lows. I respect that.
He's won like a bunch. That's crazy to win the lottery. Most people don't ever win the lottery. He's won twice.
My grandfather was addicted to the lottery. He won maybe the equivalent of $800. He played the lottery every fucking day in Greece to the point where he was using all his the equivalent of his Social Security. It went to exotic birds and the lottery. He collected birds in a shitty little balcony in Athens. Wow. Covered in birds, just like would fuck everything up. And he just played the lottery. He would go he was like a junk guy. He would like check out he was a big hoarder. But he won it. Truly, he won it one time for essentially $800. I mean, talk about, he did not have Hollywood Henderson's luck, I'll tell you that.
And that is, $800 is a cockatiel.
Yeah, absolutely. They went to some pills to make to make a parrot's coat shiny. Yeah. They were in and he's, my grandparents were in a arranged marriage, so this is like old school, villager shit. And they hated and it was literally like, he wouldn't let my grandma put the fucking lights on. He was like, you're wasting money. And then he would just put all the money in bird feed. He would buy like high-end bird feed, and he's eating like canned sardines. That's the kind of guy he was.
What's wrong with just regular sunflower seeds?
Yeah, yeah, I think they would have been fine either way. Shout out to Stavros Halkis, who I'm named after. That's my.
Because I be thinking when you feed animals like this high-end food, but you see healthier animals that don't have anybody looking after them.
Yeah.
Like, what are they eating?
It's the rich kid who had the scrap thing. That's basically it. The animals were just figuring out that's you, and then the high end feed is like your kids. You know what I mean? So you gotta do a little sprinkling of like struggle in there. I think.
I think that's what, and I truly believe it. This is what my children miss, like struggle. Like my 14-year-old son. He doesn't. He like in his mind, he's like struggle.
Yeah,
I've heard of that word.
Yeah. It's a concept. It's a concept, not a lived experience.
His struggle is: do I want a dozen oysters or do I want 2 dozen?
Should I get the ones from Long Island or should I do a West Coast oyster today?
Yeah. I'm not feeling raw today. I am feeling charbroiled. And I'm upset because they're not actually charred like I like it. That's his struggle, man. Sea bass or flounder.
Yeah.
He doesn't like. That's weird. And I tell him all the time that it was different for me, you know. And I hear these other guys. My kids. My kids struggle. I make my kids struggle. I have them do chores. For real. Mm-hmm. Like for real, it's not. No, struggle is. Everybody has to be going through it at one time. It can't be. How do you make
manufactured struggles, not real struggles?
Yeah. How do you make your kids struggle in a 7,000 square foot home?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Like what's the struggle?
I know what you mean.
It's like my struggle is I look at them steps. And I'm not going up there.
Yeah. Well, that's maybe the reason to move. That's what I love about New York is like I was looking for apartments, and I've had a couple good years, and it's just like kind of dog shit. Whereas the amount of money I spent, like rich kids here actually have like fucked up, you know, like the neighbor's toilet might fucking leak into your shit. You know what I mean? Like in the train, you're seeing you know what I mean? Like just homeless people. People are beating off in front of rich people the same way they're beating off in front of poor people on the train in New York. Yeah. So there is some real struggles here that you're not going to get in a beautiful suburban Texas mansion. You know what I mean?
Man, I don't have to see people if I don't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the pandemic, during the pandemic, I know was rough for y'all during the pandemic.
Yeah.
It was brutal. I was like outside.
Yeah, you had greens to tend to. Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not wearing a mask.
Yeah, you're driving a golf cart to other parts of your house. Meanwhile, I had a roommate until 2 years ago, and I'm successful. You know what I mean? Like, let alone.
Folks, you know, here at Stavvy's World, we're a fan of the mother guys at medicine, the herb that grows from the earth. You know we like to get nice on Kush Brothers, our monthly Patreon series. And me, frankly, the older I get, the less I want to smoke my THC, the more I want to sip on it, baby. I want to look. Ah, delicious. That's what our friends over at Cornbread Hemp have made available with their new THC seltzers. Oh, I love having that little drink. Takes the edge off. 5 mgs, just enough to get you feeling right. None of the regret the next day of a hangover, feeling weird with alcohol. You're just feeling nice with our friend Cornbread Hemp's THC seltzers. Low-calorie drink, too. You know me. You know I'm on that Stavvy Gets Ripped grind. We're talking 30 calories, 5 grams of sugar, pure THC, and all natural ingredients. Perfect for unwinding, kicking back, and enjoying the moment without alcohol or a hangover. 4 delicious flavors to choose from: blueberry breeze, peach iced tea, raspberry limeade, and salted watermelon. Right now, Stavvy's World listeners can save 30% off their first order and enjoy free shipping on orders of over $75. Head to cornbreadhemp.com/Stavvy and use code Stavvy, STAVVY, at checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/Stavvy, code Stavvy. Cornbread Hemp, This is the good life.
But is it hard though? I mean, that is a real thing of like connecting when you're like, because I struggle just connecting with my dad who we just have a language barrier, right? Like, I mean, I speak Greek, but we're from two different places. He grew up in Greece in the 70s. I grew up in Baltimore. It's like in Baltimore, all my cultural stuff is, American stuff. We have some, but like, I can't imagine if you kind of had like a generational shift plus just how different your lives are. Because like you at 14, it wasn't charbroiled oysters. You know what I mean? It was like, I mean, even the stories about I love that story too, when your dad just showed up and asked you as a child if you wanted to live with him. And it's like, you're a little ass kid who has no idea, the concept of what, like, you're like, oh, I'll go live with my fun dad. But like, your childhood is a lot different from what you're describing with your kids. Like,
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
My kids don't even. I'm present. That's one.
Yeah.
Like all the time present.
Yeah.
Like my dad was sporadic.
yeah, popped in and
like
out.
he popped in and out, and I'm there, and I don't want the relationship that I had with my dad.
Of course, yeah.
But my dad was there when, kind of like when he needed to be for some, and then I go back to
like
those
for
years.
you or just like for him. What do you mean?
Just period for me and my sister when he need it was like if you called him and asked him to come to something, he would.
Gotcha.
But you had to call and ask.
Yeah,
he wasn't present, and then you thinking, is he gonna make it?
Right.
But so when I lived with him.
Yeah, how old were you when you lived with him?
10.
10, okay.
10 to 14, I lived
Oh, wow,
with him.
okay.
And my dad is the reason why I eat oysters, but I never...
They're good. We're big oyster guys around here.
He had them in like this glass jar.
Oh, fuck, I've seen those. Those are brutal.
And he would eat them out the jar. I was like...
That's a long way from the ocean.
You
know what I mean? A glass jar.
Far from the shell.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Those.
That's fucked up.
Those right there.
Yeah. That sucks.
Worst. And that's the little jar right there with the white lid.
No, the white lid.
Oh,
Goose Point.
This is. I don't even know what that would even be from. Like,
yeah, dude.
That was because it was just so much slime.
Yeah.
In there.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. This is not a good presentation.
And so it was you and your dad. You're 10 to 14. It's like, and he's a single guy, I'm guessing.
So single.
Very single.
Very single. I'm talking about. I thought Houdini made this song for him. Like, it's a song Houdini has, I'm a hoe. and it's when I listen to the lyrics, I always think of my dad. He said, I'm a jigger high, I'm a jigger low, I'm a jigger every place I go. When I walk in the party, I was by myself. 9 times out of 10, I leave with someone else. It's something about the way I rock the microphone. The ladies in the place want to take me home.
That's beautiful.
Stretch me out all along the couch and show me what they loving is all about and when I get them.
Wow.
And then I hit them. Yeah. Like my dad, I met 42 women the first year I lived with my dad. My dad was using me as part of his game. Like, I'm taking care of my son. I just got here. I was living a whole 10 years before I got here.
I've had oysters for breakfast and lunch 4 days in a row.
It was crazy how single he was.
It's very funny to think about that time period too. Like, what's a pussy getter at this time in Houston? What's your dad's vibe like? What are we looking like? What's he dressing like?
My dad, tailor-made suits.
Love that.
I'm talking about he only owned one pair of jeans, and that's when he rode his motorcycle.
Yeah.
He owned 2 pair of tan slacks. That's when he had owned a carrier service downtown.
Mm-hmm.
So he had all white shirts and maybe 100 tailor-made suits in his closet.
Wow, holy
It was
shit.
weird because people say, I got a walk-in closet. That's the only goddamn kind of closet I've ever known. Right. You know what I'm saying? Living with him, like you walk in, it's a whole plethora of suits.
Damn.
And then he had, so he wore Python boots. He wore ropers.
Beautiful.
He wore loafers and then lace ups. He had different. He never really he had a couple pair of snake skins, but he really liked eel skin shoes.
Eel skin, hell yeah.
He had like 4 cars.
Love that.
Like my dad was really, but he had this car called a Peugeot.
Oh yeah, the French car.
Oh man, it was blue with like tan insides. And
that's a hard car to get back then. I mean,
man,
they don't even have them around now.
Man, my dad was doing it.
That's beautiful. What's
crazy.
the hairstyle looking like?
Oh, small little afro,
Yes.
like real small afro, thick mustache.
Yes, holy shit.
And,
He
like,
sounds incredible.
Man, I'm talking about jet black, always moisturized.
Yeah,
And he was like, yo, he what was his fragrance then? 2 fragrances, Lagerfeld and Obsession.
Yeah.
Those were the 2 fragrances.
An early adopter to Obsession. It's been around forever now.
Man, and my dad used to get them. I'm talking about get them. And he could dance. Like my dad was a real good dancer.
What years are we talking here?
Oh, the 80s, early 80s.
Early 80s.
Yo.
That's a forgotten time in black culture, I feel like. I feel like everyone thinks about Soul Train, and then they kind of like move to, just like hip hop, but it was like that Houdini era. You know what I mean? People do forget about. I feel like that's kind of memory hold a little bit.
If you think about how 80s rappers dressed, it was kind of still 70s, but with a little funk to it. But my dad was, this everything was tailor made still.
I mean, it is crazy how you don't have a TV show. Because every person you mention, it's like I want 4 seasons about your dad. You know what I mean? Every person that then you were like when you were selling drugs, like your crew sounded hilarious. The girls you were dating when you were like 19, when you were in high school, when you're in prison, it's like every person you like. I literally just want to read your father's biography right now. I want like a presidential level biography just about your dad, let alone everybody else you described.
You know what's weird? I just shot a special called My Father in Detroit, but it was something that I did not add in there because I didn't think about it till afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
I just started thinking about why would he put the cocaine in a Cool Whip container in the refrigerator. Like, were you not thinking about me?
Yeah, you think it's gonna be dessert.
You know how many times I thought about dipping strawberries in that, and I
just
was like,
the whole inside of your mouth is numb.
I was like, no, I don't think this is Cool Whip. But why is it in this bowl?
Yeah.
Like this is the easiest thing. Like, I know you hiding it from the police, but I could have ingested it.
Yeah, you're 10. I know people have the everybody talks about how your mom would put the like sewing equipment in that cookie container. You remember that container?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The tin one.
Yeah.
No one talks about cocaine in the Cool Whip. That's all you, man. That's the first time I've heard of that one. Yeah.
It's in the refrigerator in the Cool Whip thing. I'm like, what about this?
Yeah. They have powdered Kool-Aid, or they have powdered Cool Whip now.
Man, I just wondered that, like, why would he do that?
Yeah.
I can send you a picture of this. When my father passed, right, I kept a pair of his boots, and I got them resold and everything. And it's a pair of boots that's in my closet that I'd never wear.
Wow.
I can't fit them. We
Yeah.
wear the same size shoe. But my son will probably be able to wear them. I'm like, yo, these are your grandfather's eel skin boots that I got,
These are grandpa's pussy getting boots.
Yeah. When you put them on,
that's a cherished heirloom in the family.
When you put them on, bro, just know it's gonna fall in your lap.
His spirit comes back. Now that you know what I mean. That's like they're haunted. They're like he takes over. Your father's reincarnated through the boots.
Yeah, I kept his hat. He had this smooth little straw hat that he used to wear when he got older.
Love that.
I kept his hat, but my dad was. I see how my mom fell for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I wish I could find my mom's old fur coat, because my mom, when I look at the pictures of my mom back then, my mom was a fox. And I see how my dad was after my mom.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And my mom, she drove like the old Camaro.
Oh, wow.
It was gray with burgundy insides. And this is not the woman that you wanted to come to the school and get you. My mom was 4'11", big heels on, and she used to wear these silky dresses with a thin gold belt. And
wow.
And she had this huge curly afro. Mom was beautiful. She come to school just sexy as she wanted to be like, hey, you in trouble? Like,
yeah. What? Mom, no. Yeah, embarrassing you, and then all your friends like, your mom's pretty fucking hot, dude.
Your mom's pretty hot. Your mom is like Black Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah. Oh, that's why. Is that why you had to learn to fight? Because what everybody was telling you. Because I do love that detail. You've been boxing since you were a kid. I mean, if your mom's hot, you kind of have to fight.
Yeah, that was my grandma. My grandma was like, yo, everybody in this family can fight. Like, everybody. Like this is what we don't play about. Like I remember my grandmother telling me, you're not gonna be a big man.
Yeah. I've looked at the DNA. I've looked at the genetics.
It doesn't matter if your father is 6'3", your mom is 4'11". You're gonna fall somewhere in between there. And you're gonna have to be able to fight. And then I look at all my uncles. I had one tall uncle on my mom's side. Mm-hmm. Everybody else is like the highest. We gonna go 5'9". 5'8", 5'9". That's pretty. But everybody else is like 5'6". You know, it's about 5'9". But these are the toughest. My mom's brothers. My mom has 7 brothers. These are the toughest, thick-handed men. Yeah. That. Like they did not. My dad used to talk about my uncles.
Yeah,
like, yo,
they ever kick his ass?
Yo, uncle. Like my dad was the only one that my uncle David didn't kick the shit out of. That tried to talk to my mom.
Oh wow!
Like they would literally beat because they had 3 sisters. You know. Yeah. And the men who married my aunts literally was under the. And my uncle Chicken. He married my aunt Eunice.
Incredible nickname.
And then
Uncle Chicken.
My aunt Angela, she married a guy named Marvin that didn't come through the ranks. So then they end up getting divorced because he didn't come through the ranks. But man, you had to come see them brothers. And they were on one. Yeah. My Uncle David would tell me, he said, you know how many men I chased up a tree? And I was like, a tree? Damn. Like, y'all had people climbing trees. Get away from y'all. He's like, yeah, we need to beat their ass up a tree. I'm like damn.
Fucking Looney Tunes shit.
And then you would see their hands. You like, yeah, I could see it. Yeah. Like, I think, like, my hand is... And I've had some good ones. I've had some really good ones to where I broke my knuckles on people. Damn. That's why I don't have them right there. Yeah. But it's like my uncle's hands are like 2 or 3 of my hands together in the thickness. Yeah. I was like, yo, y'all are really. Yeah. And my uncle like, yeah, I'll knock your ass out too. and that's why I used to get me. My mom used to get me to act right. She's like, you want me to call your uncles? And she would sometimes. Oh, no. The type of threatening phone calls. Like, my uncle be on the phone talking to me. It's like the mob calling
me. Yeah, like a loan shark.
Like, hey, listen. You like, I am. Do you want me to fly down there and break your fucking spine? And you like, I'm 9. You know I'm 9, right? What shit you
Pretty
9?
Nice etch-a-sketch you got there. Be a real shame if something happened to it.
My Uncle Lamont, right? And this is so true. This is one of the truest stories I can ever tell. Up until 4 years ago, I thought that my Uncle Lamont killed people for the mob. Because that's what he looked like. Yeah. And he always had this long black leather jacket. He wore the same shoes, these black kind of boots, and he looked so menacing with his hat. And like 4 years ago, he was like, we was at a family function, and he said, "Hey man, you gotta let me make some shoes for you. I said, what? And I'm thinking like cement shoes? Like,
Yeah.
you gonna kill me? He's like, no, you gotta let me make some shoes for you. I said, why would I do that? He said, 'cause that's what I do.
Wow.
I make shoes.
Yeah.
And I said, like, for how long? He's like, forever. Like,
My whole
40 years. Like,
wow.
I've been making shoes for 40 years. And I said, you are a cobbler?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, what you thought
You've
I
got
did?
a medieval occupation.
He said, what do you think I did? I said, I thought you killed me for the mob.
That if you threaten someone enough when they're 9, they'll think about that for the rest of their lives. They'll be like, oh, he's a murderer,
Man,
of course.
That's crazy. My Uncle Lamont makes shoes in California for a long time. My Uncle Donald, which I never thought was a mobster, who shot people more than anybody else.
Yeah.
Because he owned the cleaners for 40 years, and he owns a corner store. So people have tried to rob him. And the crazy thing, when he owned the cleaners, before he sold the cleaners, his wife's name was Louise. So I used to call him George Jefferson.
Yeah.
But he shot, maybe like 2 years ago, he shot somebody who tried to rob his store.
Wow.
Like,
Where's the store?
in Mississippi.
Okay, damn.
And the funniest thing, so how the world is, people say the world is small, but it's not. It's just, you just get in these spaces with people. Roy Woods Jr.
Yeah.
We're taping this show with Ari Shaffir. And we chatting it up, and he's like, yeah, I have people in Clarksdale. And he's like, I said, I got people in Clarksdale. He said, who your people? Then we go through the who your people thing is.
Of course, yeah.
And I tell him who my uncle is. So he hits his uncle and was like, yo, do you know this person? And he was like, Donald Mitchell? Hell yeah, I know Don. Don helped me get out of prison.
He's a corner store. He owns a corner store, and he's like
he's a congressman out there too.
Wow.
Like, yo, he was the only one that they let stay in Mississippi. They ran all the rest of my uncles out of there. like, he running people up trees and shit. Like get y'all violent ass out of here.
Go buy some leather and make some shoes in Los Angeles, man. You got to get out of here.
My Uncle Bolton, when he passed, they buried him at this place in L.A. in Pasadena, where they bury all these high-ranking military people. So we were going to the funeral, and I was like, hey, I said this to my aunt. I was like, hey, I don't know who else passed, but they must be really important because they got all the flags lowered. They had all these high-ranking people out there. They got the people coming to do the 21 gun salute.
Yeah, classic
and I was like, who else passed? She's like, this is for your uncle.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, they didn't double book the funeral.
Yeah. and he was some big shot in the Air Force.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I didn't really know any of this about y'all. I'm just thinking about the threats.
Yeah. The threats will stick. Yeah.
The threats.
Yeah.
All of them had called me talking about, you playing with my sister? Like, no, it's my mom though.
Yeah. So it just sounds like you had a ton of like a bunch of different sort of like, your dad was in and out, whatever, but it's like you did have a ton of like male like figures to look up to, and then even outside of your family, as you were growing up, like people in high school, when you were, and then like the other thing about prison, when you were talking about just like a lot of the older guys too, that's an interesting aspect you don't think about, how much like community is in there, how much like you learn from the guys that have been there. That's another thing I love about it, is like it does humanize, and it's like it's weirdly a lighthearted take on prison, which you never get. It's always like doom and gloom or whatever, and I'm sure it's bad, but I mean, I'm sure you'd rather not have been in there. But
I could have not met any of them.
Yeah.
Appreciate the advice, but didn't want to meet you under these circumstances. And that's the thing. You meet people who, and they never talk about the people who learned from their mistakes and trying to. It's like in the hood, right? It's a misunderstanding that it was people that we never allowed to be in the streets because we saw potential in them.
Yep.
So we would say, like, my boy, he played basketball. Hey man, he trying to get out here in the streets. I'm like, for what though? This is not you.
Yeah.
So here goes some bread. Go to school, get all the stuff that you want to get, that you feel like you want, and we'll see you on the other side. Well, not this side.
Yeah.
You know, but they never talk about those guys, because real street guys would never let you get in the streets if you had other potential. You know, unless they, man, if we caught you doing something that you wasn't supposed to be doing, that's a whole nother threat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, man, get out of here.
Yeah. Go work on your jump shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go, man, we had this guy named Phil, right? Phil played all the instruments, but his instrument was the saxophone. And Phil would be walking from school and be like, yo, Phil, come over here and play your little harmonica for the people, right? And because they don't believe that you good.
Yeah.
And then there'd be other dudes like, he can't play that shit.
Yeah.
And then you like, man, Phil, hit their head with something. And then so Phil will be playing.
Just a little concert.
We'll give him some bread to play. But then I remember when our boys got killed, right? And Phil is coming. And I said, yo, Phil, man, play something to uplift their spirits, man.
Yeah.
And Phil out there. That's the
Play something to honor him.
and Phil is a good producer.
Yeah.
You know, it's certain things that they forget about what we would not allow.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? In our neighborhood, you couldn't be like a dude known as being creepy with kids.
Yeah.
We gonna come.
Yeah, that's not. That's.
And
I think that's
see.
a universal good to police those motherfuckers.
It's,
you know.
It's a you. Hey man, you a grown man. You talking to girls. Yo, what you doing?
Yeah.
And I think it's a space for neighborhoods that don't have active police. For it's got to be somebody that polices the situation.
Well, that's also. I mean, that is the funny thing is, like, people whenever they talk about, because American culture, it's so funny how Italians talk about how good the mafia is, and it's always shit like that where it's like when it started, it was kind of starts like a neighborhood, almost like policing thing, and then obviously it gets out of control. I think with each generation, that's kind of harder and harder to pull off. It just becomes like, you know,
morals go down.
Morals go down every generation. Like, hey, it's pretty cool having a lot of drugs and money. I'm gonna stop doing this bullshit community service and just get fucked up and get pussy. I think that's a hard thing to put. You know, you got to thread the needle for a while, but it is fun. Yeah, there is no credit for that for sure. But I do love that. And this, when you're doing all this stuff, that's when this is like when you're, because you're also young at the time, right?
Very
young.
young.
You were like 19, 20.
No, I went to prison at 19.
Oh, you went to prison at 19?
Yeah, I was 14, 15,
wow.
16, 17, 18.
Yeah.
4 days on the street at 19.
Wow, 4
So,
days. That's
yeah,
not a bad work schedule. You get 3-day weekends.
October 17th is my birthday. I was gone by October 21st.
Wow.
So I was on the streets 4 days at 19.
Wow.
So I missed all of 19.
Yeah.
Got out when I was 25.
25, okay.
Yeah.
Damn. 6 years. Some crucial years.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that is sort of like kind of going to college, I guess.
A lot of development. Development. Yeah. Like the worst part about it was I had no like women skills. Like all of my skills was very juvenile because I'm like, yo, you want a shrimp basket?
Yeah.
Like that's juvenile ass conversation.
Yeah, because you have a ton of money. You're like, I'll just buy you something nice. You know?
But when you get out, that's kind of I was really awkward. Yeah, and I still think that I'm awkward, but I was really awkward when it came to women when I came home.
Yeah,
25, no real interaction for all those years. You like, you talking to a teacher that works in the front office, is not the same as being in a relationship.
Of course. Yeah, yeah.
And then you have developed this callous of how you talk.
Yeah.
So in prison, every conversation was basically aggressive.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
So you just learn to talk.
Yeah.
Everything is aggressive or it's an argument.
Yeah. Want to go to TGI Fridays, bitch? Are you free? Yeah, that's not going to work. I'll trade you 2 cigarettes and a bar of Irish soap for you to come to TGI Fridays with me.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not appealing.
Yeah.
They didn't like it.
And especially because you're like, you go out and now it's like you're an awkward kid, but you kind of like, you also probably felt like the man when you're making so much money.
Yeah.
You're wearing cool. I remember this. You tell a story about how you're just at like a homecoming game or something. You're wearing a fur coat.
Yeah.
You're 18 or whatever in a fur coat.
And Hastings game. The high schools are right next to each other. We connected by annex, but we rivals.
Gotcha.
And this is a academically high school. And I'm there with a short mink on.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all see what this is?
Yeah. You're gonna be able to fuck when you have a mink on as a 17-year-old or whatever.
Everybody.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
back to being my dad.
And then you're 25 and you have none of that. You're just like, how do I even figure it out? That is a tough one.
I have so not any money. So not any money. Like you get out, they give you like $100 when you initially get out, and then you have to report to your parole officer to get the other 100. So you get total of $200 when you release.
Wow, perfect to
and
rebuild.
Like rebuild your life
Yeah.
with $200. I bought a bag of Ruffles and a Orange Crush, and all of a sudden I had $17.50. Like, inflation has increased while I was
Yeah.
man. It was I see how people can go back to doing what they
Of course,
were
it's
doing
almost
to
set
make
up
money.
to do that. It feels like.
But I think my mindset was so against it because they thought that that's what I was gonna do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it irritated the shit out of me.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember this CEO told me he would see me again. I was like, why would you see me again?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what would I be doing
Yeah.
for you to see me again? I would be. I never told this story, but I got transferred from one unit to another, and because I went to school to electrician school, right? So they transfer you to another unit because that's where the school is at. And then I got transferred back to my original unit. And this white guy who I was cool with, he was being really standoffish with me. I thought maybe something had happened to him while I was gone or something. And then he just one day just came to me and said, "Man, I believed in you."
Oh, fuck.
I was like, "What?" He said, "Man, when you used to talk about developing and getting out and never coming back," he said, "Man, I believed in you." I said, "Why did you stop?"
Yeah, yeah.
He said, "'Cause you're back." Back from where?
Yeah, yeah. He thought you got
He
out.
thought I got
yeah.
out
yeah, yeah.
and came back. I'm like, I didn't know. I went to another school.
Yeah,
I went to
yeah.
another prison. This is a minimum security prison. I went to a fucking max, and this shit was different.
Yeah.
And you lucky you see me.
Yeah.
On Bill Clemens was totally different from Torres.
Yeah.
The riot happened on Torres. That's just a simple riot.
Sure.
Bill Clemens was a different monster.
Yeah.
Like a max, super max, and minimum are so far away from each other.
Yeah, yeah.
It is crazy. And I was like,
So you went from the minimum to the supermax, then back to the minimum?
yeah. They transferred me back.
That is kind of a heartwarming. I mean, those two stories are kind of weirdly heart. It's like a Disney story where the guy's like, "I believed in you, man." It's like again the like connection you had with either guys in prison is heartwarming. I mean, the Dexter Manley story is hilarious. His feelings are hurt. It's like, guys, we got to put this between us. And then this guy being like, "I really wanted you to get your potential." It's really a funny thing to. That is. And if you haven't seen it, go watch it, guys. Go watch all the special. He's got, so many on his YouTube channel, free. Go see him right now. And I think I think you're going to be perfect for this. We like to give advice to our fans here, so they leave voicemails.
Okay.
And they'll call in, and we just we'll give them a little advice here. So
voicemails.
Yeah. They've called in. Eldest, what do you got for us, buddy?
Hey, Stav, Eldest, and guests and/or guests would appreciate your. Hey, Stav, Eldest, and guests and/or guests would appreciate your advice on something I've been struggling with. So, I'm almost 30 and have never had a girlfriend.
Tough.
We don't need to get into all the reasons, but I was not in a great place in much of my 20s, and it just never happened. Nevertheless, the last couple of years have been better, and there have been a couple of instances where I've been seeing somebody for a little bit, and we get to that point talking about exes, and when I say I don't have one, you can just right away kind of see the look on their face, like, what the fuck is wrong with this person? And I try to explain myself and do what I can to ease concerns, but they, rightfully, in my opinion, are worried. I'm almost 30. If I'm talking to some girl who's 30, she's probably looking for a husband, and someone my age that's never had a girlfriend, the questions start to come up of, would you marry the first girl you date, et cetera, et cetera. So I try to do my best to
this guy definitely
smooth things over, but every time that this conversation happens, they end it within a couple weeks after that. So just looking for some advice on maybe ways that I can message this better, or ways that I can help sort of get them over the hump that, just the fact that I've never had a girlfriend doesn't totally disqualify me, because I think I'm a kind, thoughtful person and would be a good partner, boyfriend, father, the whole deal, but it's just sort of been an issue as of late. So appreciate any thoughts you have. Much love.
Interesting. Damn. Never had a girlfriend. I mean, I don't know.
I think he's phrasing that wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so he says it's happened multiple times, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Use them as references.
Totally, yeah.
Like,
I've had one technical girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like, I've dated a bunch of girls. Like, who cares?
Yeah, I've dated. I really haven't been in a committed relationship with these people. But if something that oddly enough, the reason why is because I don't claim them as exes at that point, because it wasn't long term. 3 weeks is not a long time. You could be my first ex. You like the first.
Also, lie. Who gives a fuck about this? This isn't like I would say call those little 3 week bullshit. Just say they're your exes. You had you've dated, you've been whatever. The fact that you haven't had a serious girlfriend, I think this guy's letting it stop him.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, if he's like a charming, it sounds like your dad never technically had any exes.
He didn't have my dad never had no exes. He's like, it has to be like this.
That's why, if you're like, the problem here is a classic problem of just not believing, thinking this is going to be an issue, right? Because, like, who cares, dude? It comes up. What happens is this comes up and he goes, I've never really had an ex. You know what I mean? If he's like, I've been seeing a couple of people here on again, off again, nothing really clicked. Just that's all. And if you just moved it forward, it wouldn't be that big a deal. You are scared to bring up the fact that you haven't had a girlfriend. It sounds like you fucked before, which is big.
Stop talking like you just had only sex workers.
Man, I guess that is. Yeah, exactly.
I've never really been with them. I just paid for it.
Yeah. I've had some if that might actually be better, because you might actually have some camaraderie with if you saw one sex worker over and over again. It's like when you have a barber you really like. That's a relationship that could last a decade, honestly. So maybe that's the key, dude. But yeah, just message this better. You're clamming up. I promise you. If these girls because the other thing is, you could spin this. This guy clearly he sounds like the type of guy who would get married to his first girlfriend.
You were saving yourself.
Oh, that's good. That's
Women
good.
say it like,
yeah.
No, I was
religious.
And put the eyebrow up and say, I've been saving myself for the right person. You're talking like you killed everybody that you goddamn dated.
My exes? No, you can't talk to them. Why? Stop behaving like that and you'll be fine, dude. I promise. This is just
serial killer.
Because this could be a positive too. This could be like I've known women who've sort of like trained. You sound like the kind of guy who would like to submit to the will of a woman who can control his life. Eldest's wife makes all the big decisions, isn't that right, Eldest? And you love it.
That's right.
Yeah, you sound like an Eldest type of fella. One of these women, you're gonna find the right type of girl, and you're gonna be fine. Just stop letting this be the thing that you get nervous about, because it's all in your approach. You think it's a big deal, so you've made it a big deal. If you're like, I've seen a couple people, I've been in a couple, and you can also, like, it's a resume. You're never as hard a worker as you pretend you are on your resume.
Yeah,
you saw a girl for 3 weeks, make it seem like it was a couple-month relationship. It's not the big, you're not a piece of shit. Unless you did do some weird shit, but it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like you had some mental illness things, you had some other shit going on. And by the way, recovering from all that shit, that can be cool too. You could be like, look, I was struggling in my 20s, and then I had a couple little short-term relationships, but I'm really looking now to date seriously, and I want something serious. Because that you think you're already getting ahead of them thinking it's going to be a deal breaker. Make sure it's not. Be like, no, I'm over that now. I was a bit of a late bloomer, but I feel good now, and I'm really looking for something serious. You'll be fine, bud.
Especially if you have a good career.
Totally.
You focused on your career. You fucking 30.
Yeah.
And
the second round is about to happen.
yeah, and like you didn't really have anything to offer.
Right. That might be the bigger problem.
Yeah, you didn't have anything to offer. My son's 31. He shouldn't have had any goddamn girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Before now. Because he didn't have shit to offer, broke ass. Like why would your broke ass even have somebody? I was struggling with this girl. I ain't have shit. Man, look, man, get it. And I think that's the thing. And then if you want to boost yourself up, there are this is what always gets me, and I've always seen homeless men with women.
They'll have women in their tent for sure.
Sir, you can get a woman.
Yeah.
Even if you
absolutely.
look at somebody that looks worse than you. I'm like, this guy has someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly it. You're letting this be the stop. You're letting this stop you. The homeless guy's not letting anything stop him. He's getting pussy for some combos.
And he just shit in the trash can outside.
Yeah, dude. Maybe you've had a couple intimacy issues, but you have plumbing, you have a warm bed, you'll be good. Hit us with some other ones, Eldest.
Hey, Stavvy. Big fan of the show. Long time, first time. Just calling back because I didn't really get my point across the first time I called. So I'm having an issue with my friend who I've been buddies with since we were 9 years old. He keeps things close to the chest, but I have it on good authority from another friend that he was cheated on by his fiancee. The two of them have been dating for 10 years, and apparently she's cheating with him, on him with this guy from work.
Damn.
I don't know how she thought she'd get away with it because he's a detective.
Oh,
so he'd figure that shit out eventually, probably.
Detective?
I need your help because
the fuck?
My friend is the kind of guy who doesn't really let his emotions out around his friends. So I don't think I'm ever going to hear about it from him.
Oh, hell yeah.
But every time I see him, I can tell he's in a lot of pain. And it seems like this is really crushing him, but
you don't say.
I don't want to betray his trust by letting him know that I heard from somebody else. So I don't really know what to do. I see him about once every 2 weeks, and this happened, I think, about 8 months ago. So I just need some advice on how to navigate this friendship, knowing what I know. Thank you. Love you, baby. Help me out.
Oh my goodness.
Well, the good news is this. It feels like this is an important step to being a great detective. You have to be broken by a woman, become an alcoholic, smoke cigarettes with some 5 o'clock shadow, and that's a good detective has to get cucked. This is sort of like a detective's origin story,
48 hours.
Yeah.
What's the guy from 48 hours?
Oh yeah. Fuck. Oh yeah, Nick Nolte from exactly. You need a hard-boiled detective who fucking hates his ex-wife. Like, that's classic. You need a guy drinking whiskey with the lights off in his office with a 5 o'clock shadow going, and that seems like the path he's on. But I mean, you know.
Mind your fucking business until he tell you.
Oh, I like
until
that.
He tell you. It's like, hey man, I'm looking at the pain in his eyes. Like you fucking, you ain't got shit to do. Like man, I got a lot of friends, and when I see him, I'm like, yo man, what's on your mind? Oh, you not telling me? Okay, cool.
Great.
Hey, bring another round. Yo,
it's also like, so everybody, your other friend is gossiping about him behind his back.
Behind his back.
That seems fucked up also. Yeah, dude, I mean, look, somebody's getting cucked and they don't know, you know, who knows what their situation is. And you might be misreading it. That's the other thing. You don't actually know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
I mean, you could pretend you got cheated on and see if it sparks anything. You could be like, oh man, yeah, my wife sucked off the guy from accounting. I'm pretty pissed about it. Maybe I can open up to you. Is that okay? And see what, you know, if he starts crying when you say that, maybe then you have proof. But you know,
this is some soft shit though. If you been friends since 9, your friendship is pretty fucking fragile if you just can't say it.
That is true.
Yo man, what the fuck you got going on?
Yeah.
Your girl cheat on you some shit?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like, I'm gonna say it. I'm not fucking sugarcoating. Since 9.
You have to pick a lane. I think you're absolutely right. You guys are this close. You either say it or, like you say, the first time, mind your business. There's no in between. There's no like gazing at him longingly and seeing and feeling like you can feel the pain in his eyes. It's like you can't. Pick one or the other. If Eldest were to get cucked, I would be like, you know, what's up, bro?
So this is another. If the other friend, how long y'all been knowing him?
Yeah, who's the other guy?
Yeah,
This
who's
is
the
another
other guy? Like, yo, this is when. No, I remember I was going through this tragic. It was a tragic breakup. It was so crazy, and I was sleeping on my friend's kid's couch, and I was not eating and all this bullshit. And kid came and sat on his coffee table.
Because you were taking up his couch.
All the
seating was spoken for. Yeah.
And now I'm like Dexter Manley. I'm looking at him. And he says, hey, man, not eating is not going to help.
I mean, that's a low point if your friend's son is the one who's helping you out.
And then he explained. He said, yo, man, you sit on this couch fucking not bathing and shit. you have allowed this woman to make you forget who you are.
Yeah.
And I was like, you right, but I'm still so weak. then that shit was over.
Yeah.
It was like over. It's like, yo, man, you're not supposed to let your friends wallow in nothing, and you're not supposed to hold it back. Man, I went to go see my friends when they've gotten out of bad relationship or out of good relationship that they felt that was so good. I'm like, yo, oh no, she's definitely fucking him.
Yeah.
Like, I like, no, for real. Like, she's definitely fucking him, no matter what you say.
Yeah.
But she said she wasn't. Look at my eyes.
Come on, man.
Look at me.
Yeah. Let's be
I'm
honest.
telling you, and I'm not a detective. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And so, you know, you got to let this either say it or just put it out of your mind. But this kind of in between shit, and he doesn't let his emotions around his friends. It's like, why is now the time you've decided to work on this? You know what I mean? Like, it's actually kind of insane to wait for an emergency to become better friends. Yeah. Like, you should have been, if you really wanted his emotions out, if you really wanted a healthier whatever, you should have started this earlier, not when there's a fucking emergency happening. Let him deal with it the way he deals with it. If he wants help, he'll give you some help. Otherwise, you know, just like shut the fuck up, get some wings. And if you want to do anything for him, help him cheat on his fiance back. That's how you become a good friend.
Hey man, do y'all have a Hooters?
Yeah.
Do y'all live at?
Yeah.
Nothing like
Hooters?
dating a hot Hooters chick.
That sounds
you
pretty
past
cool.
all this bullshit.
Yeah. I fully agree. Go get some wings. Tip a Hooters waitress who's maybe struggling financially 200%, and see what happens from there. Just let it play. Yeah. Either way, you're in no man's land. What else you got, Eldest?
Hey, Stav, Ali. I'm going to get right to it. I'm calling
Thank
from
you.
Europe. I have no idea how much this call is costing me.
Wow. Call from Europe.
Yeah. Okay. So I've had poor mental health my whole life. My parents took me out. They're pretty fucked up themselves. But in the last few years, I've had a breakthrough with my mental health. I cut them off, and it's been difficult. But it has given me the ability to be able to write music, which is something that I've always wanted to do. I studied music, so it's not completely new to me, but writing music was never something that I could do. My self-esteem was so bad, and yeah, I couldn't even start. But I released my first single at the end of last year, which is exciting. And I guess my question is it delusional for me to think that I could make a career in music even though I'm already 32 years old? I feel like anyone who's kind of successful has been doing it already. Like, I've got friends who are successful musicians, but they've been working already for 10 years, and I don't know, I just feel like is it delusional of me to think that I could make this work. I mean, I'm not looking to be like hugely successful or whatever, just to make ends meet and live comfortably and have a nice time. I have other things I can fall back on. I'm a trained music therapist, but I don't know, there's something inside me that's like, I want to do this. I want to do music full time. But is it delusional of me to think that that is even a possibility? Or is delusion also a little bit necessary for success?
Yeah. So is it delusional if you start an artistic career later in life to think you can have a career is basically her question.
You talking to two comics. Like, I'm 51.
Yeah.
And yo, man, if you start and you feel good about what you're doing, then you can have a successful career doing anything. If you put the work into it, you can't look at people who were younger than you. Oh, they did it and they started when they was young. You can't run for president here until you're 36.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's not a time limit on your success, and this is the thing that I tell comics a lot who ask me about advice. They always tell me about the industry, and they'll tell me about all this other stuff, and I'll say the problem is that you're taking the creator out of it. Mm-hmm. You like everything depends on what man says, and you don't understand what's been written for you or what the creator. I was like, I don't know what your spiritual upbringing is, but it's still another higher power that has something to do with where you're heading and what your belief system is. So don't allow your mental struggles to, because you're saying, is it delusional? No, it's not delusional, especially if you put the effort into it. Yeah. It's a lot of older music doesn't have an age, just like comedy doesn't have. Rodney Dangerfield started at 55.
Yeah, he failed when he was younger, and then he was selling aluminum siding or whatever, and then he went back to it for real. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. And so look, I think it's about how you're framing it, right? Because it's like, is it delusional to say you're going to be fucking Dua Lipa or fucking Taylor Swift? Yeah. Okay, let's just start right there, right? You're probably not selling out arenas or whatever, but it doesn't sound like that's what you want. But is it delusional to think you can have a career, like, like a career in music, in whatever? No, it's not delusional. And it's good that you have something that's kind of related, where it's like music, you're a trained therapist, you could have a day job. I would have been doing stand-up no matter what, right? Like, if I had to have a day job and I did it, I'm honestly, the happiest years of my life were when I had a shitty day job and I was going to shows every single night and I was trying to get better at it and I was trying to figure it out. And I'll be honest, I was literally happier then than I am now when my career's gone good, but it's like...
It's expected.
Yeah, and it's like there's pressure. It's a job. I'm supporting people. Like, you're kind of in a fun part of the creative process where it's like you're figuring your shit out. You're putting out your first... You had a block mentally that wouldn't let you be creative. Now you get to just create the music. Like, I like figuring out my hour of stand-up. I like working on it so much more than I like filming it or even people seeing it. Like, you have to do that for your career or whatever. You have to package it and show people something and make some money off of it. But my favorite part of this job is touring, is the actual creative process, is making stuff. And I would have been doing that even if I had a day job and I could only do it on weekends, or if I still lived in Baltimore and I was like, you know, would run a local show. There's people like that. You go, you know, you're on tour and you see some incredibly talented people who, for one reason or another, it's not always talent. Like we were saying earlier, some of this shit it's just a lottery ticket. Right place, right time, you know, the correct algorithms. I mean, I think both of us, YouTube helped our careers a lot.
Yes, sir.
If you know, you shift that window 5 years earlier or 5 years later, maybe, you know, maybe if I wasn't doing crowd work clips when the algorithm was just shooting those fuckers to the top for some reason, my life's a lot different. Same thing with you know, Patreon and Cumtown, when we were making a ton of money. Like, timing's a lot of stuff. Even if the timing was bad and I wasn't doing so great, I'd be doing this for a creative reason, and I would try and figure it out. And there's other things, right? With comedy, you could write, you could show run, you could, you know, produce stuff for other people. And for you too, it's like you were saying you had a friend, your boy from Houston who was like a good musician, he becomes a producer, right? Like, you could find something, and that's the important thing, is like living your life in a way that makes you happy, creating what you want to, and seeing where the ride takes you. It's not delusional. Don't let worrying about the future stop you from doing what you like. And whatever happens, happens. If you're just putting out music for yourself and you have some small fans, whatever, but you keep a day job your whole life, but you know, you're creating stuff you love, and then maybe you make connections, you do some other shit, that's great. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll eat my words and you are fucking Taylor Swift in 10 years and you are selling out arenas. But, you know, who knows? But don't limit yourself with kind of negative thinking. See where it can take you, for sure.
Man, I have a friend that is booked year round. He's an incredible lounge singer.
Hell yeah.
And you don't realize how many lounges there are. Like, yo, he when he pulls up, and nobody knows him unless you're been to a lounge he's been in. Then he got a cruise ship gig where it has a lounge in it. And he's like, yo, and the people are like, man, didn't I see you on Norwegian? He's like, yeah, how you doing? And he's very well-to-do. Yeah. Because it all adds up. You know? It depends on, I think people look at one level of success and forget that there's other lanes of success down there. Man, it's guys who don't ever want to have a special, but they've been doing stand-up for 40 years and making a living on it. Do you know how crazy it is when I found out the warm-up for a show? Yeah.
A guy you've never heard of.
That you never, he's a warm-up for a show, and he gets out and his collar's up and he jumps in a Maserati in LA. He's like, yeah, man, see you guys on Monday. He's like, who is he? He's like, yo, he's Chucky Brown. You know been opening up for Ellen's show for 25 years. He's like, what the fuck?
And they're making like a doctor's salary doing that shit. So we believe in you. What else you got for us, Big Eld?
Big fan. Let's Start a Cult. Amazing movie.
Thanks, man.
I'm just calling because my wife, she doesn't do blowjobs. I think she maybe did one in the 5 years we've been together. Oh, it was pretty awesome. What? But she said she doesn't feel comfortable. Whatever.
This is dope.
You know, we're pretty open with each other, and recently she told me a hilarious story about how she fucked one of her old guy friends in the ass with a strap on.
She'll do that, but she won't suck dick?
And now I feel like, wow, this dirty bitch will
oh wow, we had the same idea.
Fuck a dude in the ass, but you won't blow me. And I'm just curious, do you think this is fair? Do you think
fair?
Yeah, I feel entitled to it, you know?
I'm trying.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd just love to hear your opinion.
Fair. This man is trying to like argue statutes to get ahead from his wife. It can't be. You're not gonna debate yourself into some head, dude.
Yo, your wife doesn't like your meat. Your meat probably has a stench to it, some sort of fucking taste that she don't agree with. Shave your pubic hair, wash off your damn meat. Yeah, drunk is gonna be your avenue to this. You're gonna have to get your wife drunk.
Yeah,
and you may had to get fucked in the ass.
How much are you willing to barter here?
Maybe start off with the strap on.
Let's open negotiations. It's like 1 inch. I hit to 1 inch. Go to 2 inch. 2 inch in my ass. 2 inch in my ass. 2 inch for three times 3 blowjobs.
Oh shit.
Look. Here's the other thing. This is on you, clearly, because you're a coward and you're a pushover. I can tell from your voice. First of all, not getting head for 5 years is insane.
From your wife.
This
you legally bought. This is an indentured servant that you legally bought with love and time, and you not getting this is terrible.
You know what? Obviously, like we hate. Let's just say philosophically, we hate your wife. We just don't approve of how she lives her life. We're a very pro head podcast here, and we just do not see eye to eye with your wife. But this is also your fault because I can't fathom never getting head and just being like, cool, this is acceptable. You fucked up so hard when you set the parameters of what's acceptable in this relationship. And I'm a little worried that there is no coming back from this, right?
Yeah.
Because you've made it pretty much clear that, I don't even care about getting head. Meanwhile, you're seething every night. You're just like, just suck it, you fucking bitch. I work hard. In the back of your head, you just want there to be some head. I think your whole demeanor has to shift. I think you have to change something about your life that you have to become a head getter. You're not a head getter right now. You're a guy who will allow himself not to be sucked off, even in a long-term relationship. And this isn't like the head's dropped off. This is from the jump.
One
blowjob in 5 years. That's one. The ratio of days in this relationship to blowjobs gotten is 1 to like 1,800. That's fucking insane, dude.
How do you even make it to the altar when?
This is what I'm sitting there thinking. Like,
yeah, you're on one knee. You're like, I bet. I have a ring in here, but you see how I'm on a knee? How about we switch that posture? You want this to open up? Why don't I stand up?
Said I do to somebody like this? Like,
objection. Yeah, if I was your best friend, I would be like, objection, Your Honor. She only sucked him off once after a Halloween party.
It's like when people are like, before you get married, talk about kids, talk about finances.
Talk about your values. Yeah.
You need to make sure you're on the same page with getting head.
I'm sorry. This honestly might be one of my strongest held beliefs. More than literally anything is I must get head.
Anything.
This, for real, for me, this might be the top.
Y'all broke up in Greece? Yeah. This like, God damn. But this must have been the Greece breakup.
It didn't help.
Goodness, like y'all never been nowhere romantic where she just felt like, something, we in Paris. I gotta suck your dick in Paris.
That's true. You take a romantic vacation and then you start decorating. You put a picture of the Eiffel Tower at your house. You go somewhere and get your dick sucked, and then you try and Pavlov's dog her into fucking thinking your apartment is the same place.
I would only watch porn. She would catch me watching blowjob porn.
Yeah.
I would just turn it on like a regular. Hey.
Wow, Mike. Oh yeah, you see how Mike bought it? Yeah, Mike bought his wife a new Lexus. I hear she sucks him off every day. Crazy. But truly, okay, we're done clowning you, and we'll say you have to shift things here. You have to change something about yourself to become a guy who gets head. You have to be cooler. You have to be more in control of this relationship. My guess is you're just a pushover, and you have to be more of a, you have to be a more commanding presence, or you could trade your ass for head. those are your two. Those are kind of your two. It's also funny that she'll tell you this story. It's like, you should start telling stories about how you got sucked off in the past and how awesome it was. But at the end of the day, this boils down to, you just got to have a conversation. It's hilarious. Almost all problems boil down to have a conversation. And it's funny, but I literally have had, I was like seeing somebody, whatever, and I did notice rates of head were starting to drop off. And I, for real, have had this conversation where I was like, we can't have this. I was like, I'm still eating pussy at the same clip, and all I want is equity in this relationship. And you have to have that conversation. I mean, are you eating pussy? Because that's another. I mean, you gotta get in there somehow, bro. I mean, you gotta figure something out.
This
but
is ridiculous.
yeah, I mean, this is most of this show, Ali. These are most of our problems here. I'm sure Eldest has another one of these queued up.
What up, Stavvy? What's good, Eldest, and esteemed guest? This is a take 2 of my previous message, but yeah. So, I've been dating this girl for about 5-6 months. She's really cool. I don't really see like a future with her in terms of that, like marriage and anything like that. She's really cool.
Hilarious
her
thing
and
to
I
bring
have
up
a
immediately.
trip planned. We're gonna go to the East Coast. We're gonna do some hiking, things like that. And I really want to go on the trip, but I don't want to break up with her prior to it, because obviously I really want to go on the trip. But I know that when I come back, I'm going to want to break up with her and just,
God,
be a free bird again. How do I do that after having an amazing trip? Because I'm the type of person that can make the best out of any situation. And obviously I'm not going to make the trip hell for her.
You're pretending the fact that you secretly want to blindside your girlfriend with a breakup as you triumphing over adversity and being able to make the best of the situation. This woman has no idea what she's in for. Let's finish this call before we go in on him, but
make the best out of any situation. And obviously I'm not going to make the trip hell for her or anything like that, because I'm going to have a good time. Yeah, we're hiking in some mountains, things like that. So I just want to know any advice on how to do that.
What?
For context, I don't like hurting people's feelings, so I will gladly put this all on me. I will gladly tell her that I'm the asshole. I'm this.
I mean, you are. There's no. You're not faking anything by doing that.
But yeah, I'm just curious to see what you suggest. What are some things that I could potentially do, or not do, like to hurt her, like not cheat or anything. But I don't know. Come up with a story, something like that.
Come up with
a story. Feel free to make it funny. Feel free to put it behind a paywall, whatever you feel like it.
The permission.
I appreciate you. You Greek God. And I also appreciate you Albanian producer. Thank you.
This is fucking insane. This is just a sociopath. Just how calm he is.
Yeah.
He's talking about this like it's a normal thing. You know, when you have to secretly, you want to fuck a girl for 6 months, but you really want to go hike. You really want to go hike in the Poconos. So you can't tell. I mean, this is insane.
Yo, you the brokest motherfucker I ever even encountered. Why you can't go on the fucking hiking trip yourself if you...
I know.
Why you gotta... I wouldn't even ruin the trip by going, knowing that I'm secretly planning on breaking up with you.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, yo, I don't want to go anywhere with you.
You wouldn't feel guilty. I mean, basically what this boils down to is he wants to fuck a girl while on this trip. This is essentially a guy who's like, well, I don't see a future, but I have to get there a couple days early, get on Tinder. It's going to be hard to get pussy on this trip, but so I'll just string this woman along. I mean, let's be honest, you're just a piece of shit, dude.
This is how you get pushed off a fucking cliff while you hiking in the East Coast. I don't know what happened to me.
But yeah, there's no we're not going to help you craft a lie. Just be honest. Don't mistreat someone. It's not even like you're like, I don't really see a future, but we'll see where it goes. You know you want to break up with this person. You got it. I mean, the right thing to do is to break up before. Like, don't Or, yeah, who knows? I mean, I'm somebody who's broken up on a vacation. Maybe there will just be bad vibes immediately, but it's just kind of crazy you don't feel guilty doing this. There's not even, that doesn't even creep in a little bit. He's just like, what's the best way to let her down? And it's like,
and do a joke about it so I can feel, I can laugh
yeah. I'd love to unload this on you. I'd love to make this your problem. But yeah, dude, you're a dickhead. You should break up with her before. And yeah, what are you going half on the Airbnb? Is that what you're worried about here? What the fuck is going on?
I want to see her in a swimsuit one last time. Fuck me.
You got to break up with her, dude. You're being a piece of shit. I'm sure this has already happened, probably. But yeah, in the future, just be honest with people.
He says he's like anti-confrontational. He doesn't like hurting people's feelings. This is
a good
exercise.
So much worse.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, again, clearly a coward, and that's the thing. Is like you can't. This is worse. You do. It's not that you don't like hurting people's feelings. It's that you don't like experiencing what you do to other people. You're like, because you have to get better at confrontation. First of all, that's being a fucking adult. Is shit like this happens, and you have to just say it. And every time there's a hard conversation, having it makes you like, it improves you. You become you're better off every hard conversation you have. Just stop being a coward. Tell this woman how you feel, and just take a trip by yourself. I mean, you shouldn't. This is kind of like a diabolical move, because if she really likes you, she thinks you're getting more closer. She thinks this is like a vacation is kind of like the next step. Where
it's
like,
the kind of thing after like 6 months where it's like, oh wow,
we're
like
going
on a trip.
Yes,
we're getting along great on this trip.
Yeah. She's telling her friends like, I think this actually, he was a piece of shit. Like this is what she's telling her friends. This is the group chat. You guys, and you're wrong. I told you he wasn't a piece of shit. He's taking me to New Jersey to hike. And it's like,
and I'll be like, he's fucking trying to kill you.
Yeah, exactly. That is the other thing. It would almost be more. No, it wouldn't be more.
Yellowstone. You want to go to the train station?
God damn, what a fucking asshole. You really are a coward. It's like a shitty coward. You're not only a coward, but you're a selfish coward, and we don't support that here at Stavvy's World. And it sounds like you can get a girlfriend, so just break up with her and get somebody else if you really want to. The longer you do this, though, the more of a piece of shit you are.
But she has the tickets to the trip.
But her dad works for American Airlines. We're gonna fly on a buddy pass. We're flying standby. I don't want to buy tickets. You got something nice for us to go on? I know you got to get out of here, Ali.
Hey, Stavvy. Just caught you on the Dreamboat Tour in Vancouver.
Nice.
Wicked show, man. But I'd like to formally apologize on behalf of all of Vancouver for the boo birds when you were making fun of us for being on England's dick.
Yeah, Canada's pathetic in that way. They still have like the royal family in England on their money. Mm-hmm. It's like fucking. England is not there anymore, bro. They can't do shit to you. Just get off their dick. It's pathetic.
We are working on it, okay?
Nice.
That's what we are. We're the little brother up here.
Yeah.
Anyway, to my question. I am a 35-year-old, recently divorced, single dad of one 5-year-old daughter. And I was recently at a park, and a woman approached me. She was there with her 2 kids.
Nice.
And me being naive to the fact and like newly single and back in the dating world, she was very clearly hitting on me, but I didn't clue into it. So I'm just like wondering what like etiquette is for this. Like obviously it's kind of tough sometimes to meet women when you're a parent. Like is it okay to approach a woman, like hit on them if they're with their children? Like that seems slimy to me. Or obviously like just feel the situation out and like let it evolve naturally. Like if small talk starts and whatever. But yeah, any advice would be appreciated. Cheers.
Oh, I'm an expert at this one.
Yeah. Please.
I don't approach women with their children. Like you say, it seems slimy. But this case, you were being approached.
Right.
She saw that you were being a nurturing father.
Right.
And she looked at her crushed life with her 2 children.
Exactly.
Said, I would like that.
Yeah.
And think about the Brady Bunch, man. You know, it was two single, people, and they had kids, and but this is totally a cool thing, especially if you the one doing the pickup. Don't approach women with their kids. That's just me, and I would have went for this. And I'm like you. I never know when women are hitting on me. It goes over my head all the time. And if you like,
you've known it a few times. How many kids we got?
No, I was definitely hitting on them.
Yeah, okay,
That was definitely me.
I see.
I'm like, yo, what's up, Shout? you look nervous.
Yeah, gotcha.
So, that would be my advice. You missed this one. Maybe you can go back to that same park, have your daughter. Don't do like my
that
father
starts looking
did.
pathetic though. It's like, hey, you're swinging your daughter. You guys see that lady from here? Anybody seen that lady? Can I go home? Not yet.
Yeah.
They'll be here any minute.
That's my father. My father was clearly using me to pick up ladies. Like, take care of my son. Shit.
Yeah, and the important thing to remember is that, these women have been crushed by life. They're not naive anymore. They're, you know what I mean? Like, that's the other thing. It might seem a little slimy, but it's like, it's not. This isn't like high school. There's no like nerves. It's like you're dealing with people who have been through the meat grinder, who just want to, and they might want a new dad for their kid. They might just want to, get fucked every once in a while because their life is stressful. Maybe you don't even meet their kids. Maybe you're just meeting at a Courtyard Marriott, every 6 weeks. Maybe that's the relationship. But it's like, don't be naive. It's all good. You're all adults here. And yeah, I think, and you obviously have more, experience here. But my guess is even, like, don't approach women in a slimy way if you see somebody. But if you're just making small talk at a park or whatever, and it's like you could just feel it out, you know what I mean? Like if you just sort of hit it off with somebody, or you see someone at the same park or the same whatever daycare, whatever it is, like you get a rapport. It's just like anything else, except I think the thing with a single mom is like there's no real time to waste either. You know, one way or another, you'll know pretty soon if they're interested in you, because it's like they have to pencil you in between like after school programs and cooking dinner and all this other shit. It's like they'll let you know. It's pretty efficient, I would guess. But
keep your kid with you.
Yeah.
If you approaching women with children, keep your kid with you.
Absolutely.
Other than that, you seem like real.
No, I should make that caveat. You gotta have your own kid. Don't go to playgrounds like, hey, what's up? Hey, how you guys doing?
Everybody's out there okay? Slime ball.
Yeah. No parental, no male figure, huh? Must get pretty hard. Do you want a Nintendo Switch, little guy?
Like you out there with the money on the thing. Almost got it.
Yeah. Pretty funny stuff here. Is that your was that your finale, Eldest? You have a fun one for us, or was that?
That was the fun.
That was fun.
Final one.
Okay, wasn't that fun? Just kind of a regular question, but that's what we expect of your producer. Do you know any Albanians? They got Albanians in Houston.
It's probably some there.
Yeah.
But ever since Taken, I probably stay away from. Yeah. Ever since certain, I was definitely coming to see you because my one of my favorite movies. I'm fucking horrible for this, but if people ask me, My Great Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh,
great movie.
My goodness.
Great movie.
I watched all of them.
All three,
and I fucking love that movie. Like,
she's great, yeah.
This is when I know I love a movie because it doesn't matter what part it's on when I see it.
You hop on, you're
okay, here we go.
Here comes the party, here comes all the cousins.
I am in, no matter when. It's like Coming to America. I'm gonna watch it if it's at the end or the beginning.
Totally.
It don't matter.
Absolutely.
That's my and now to see them grow up and their daughter grow up, it was just that was a great
fun
movie, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Nia Vardalos, Greek legend. I think it's one of the most profitable, I think it's like the most profitable romantic comedy ever or something like that. She has some kind of crazy record because it was a completely indie movie. And it was like, what do we got, Eldest? Worldwide total of $368 million, being the highest grossing romantic comedy of all time. She made $368 million on a $5 million budget. So shout out to her. Never reached number one. She made the most money never being number one. So
Crazy.
Salute to her. I remember our church would take like bus trips to go see it. Like Greek people were just lining the fuck up to see that movie. So
that shit was crazy.
There's a little plug for My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and also Ali Siddiq. He's got his specials are out. When does Fatherhood come? Or what's it called?
Rugged comes out on Father's
Day.
Yeah. We open up the announcement for the second half of the tour.
Cool.
Tomorrow.
Oh,
actually,
nice.
tickets gonna sell tomorrow for pre-sale and Friday for regular population. And then speaking of weddings, Marcus D. Wiley, a special that I produced for definitely not $5 million. Marriage is major surgery. So just keeping it moving, man.
Go check it out. So truly, so much good stuff on the YouTube, and I said it at the beginning, but it's like you're incredibly prolific. So when people go to your YouTube, it's like there's so much stuff to dig into, and I think you guys are gonna really like it. Ali, thanks for coming, man. This was so
thanks
fun.
for having me. Man.
Anytime you're in New York, please come back, and we will talk to you guys next time. Bye bye.